Hi everyone. Have you ever sung a hymn and thought, wait, what does that even mean? Well, "Come thou fount of every blessing" is one of those lines. Here I raise my Ebenezer. Who raises an Ebenezer anymore? Is it a flag? A person? Ebenezer Scrooge? Spoiler alert, it's none of the above. But today we're going to dive into the story behind this beloved hymn, learn what that line really means, and reflect on it, why its message is just as powerful now as it was when it was written over 250 years ago. This hymn is about God's grace. You know, grace is one of those words you hear all the time in church, but it's so much deeper than just being nice or polite. Grace is about God reaching down to us when we don't deserve it. And let's be honest, that's all of us. One of my favorite lines from this hymn says, "Prone to wonder, Lord, I feel it. Prone to leave the God I love." Isn't that so true? Life pulls us in 100 directions, and we forget who we're really living for. But the amazing thing about grace is that God doesn't leave us. He's always calling us back, guiding us like a shepherd, bringing his sheep home. This hymn reminds me of the promise in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8, which says, "For by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not your own doing, it's the gift of God." It also echoes Psalm 23, which reminds us that God leads us, provides for us, and restores our souls. No matter how far we wander, He's there to bring us back. Now let's talk about the story behind "Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing." This hymn was written by Robert Robinson in 1758 when he was just 22 years old. Yes, 22. I don't know about you, but when I was 22, my greatest achievement was figuring out how to make macaroni and cheese without burning it. Robinson wrote this hymn after experiencing a powerful spiritual transformation. He had been a bit of a wild child his teenage years, running with the wrong crowd. But one day he heard a sermon by the famous preacher George Whitefield, and it completely changed his life. The line, "Here I raise my Ebenezer," comes from 1 Samuel chapter 7, verse 12, where the prophet Samuel sets up a stone as a monument and says, "Thus far the Lord has helped us." It's a reminder to look back and see how God has been faithful in our lives. So when you sing this hymn, you're not raising a grumpy old man named Ebenezer. You're remembering how God's grace has carried you this far and trusting Him to carry you further. And now let's hear this beautiful hymn played on the organ. As you listen, take a moment to reflect on God's grace in your own life. Think about the times when you've wondered and how He's always been there to guide you back. Thank you for listening today. This hymn is a powerful reminder of God's grace and faithfulness. So if you're facing struggles or feeling a little prone to wonder, remember, God's grace is always there to bring you back. And if you've ever raised your own kind of Ebenezer, whether it's a cup of coffee, a note of gratitude, or just a moment to pause, thank God for his help so far and trust him with what's ahead. If this hymn spoke to you today, share it with someone who might need to hear about God's grace. And don't forget to subscribe for more hymn stories and performances. See you next time.